Scope you are going to set. You can set the voltage, frequency and type of the waveform. Okay. Whenever you get an oscilloscope function generator, press the reset button. Okay. By default, it will give signal on channel A, and the type of waveform will be frequency. I will press the frequency button. First I will press the frequency button, then I will write down the value. Let's say I want to set 500 hertz. Okay. Then you look here, this is HZ. HZ stands for frequency hertz. So just press this button. You will make mistake if you don't press this button because it is not set. You press this button, then the frequency will be set. Now you want to set the amplitude. Okay. Right now it is 1 volt peak to peak. Okay. You can set the amplitude by clicking this button. Let's say I want to have 5 volt. So I will just put, now it is 5 volt peak to peak. Okay. If I press this button, this will change between peak to peak and RMS. Now we have RMS value. Okay. So now it is showing me RMS value. Clear? So we have the frequency, voltage, peak to peak, RMS, type of sine wave, and the channel number A is used. Suppose I want to introduce the phase shift. Okay. Now when I go for the phase, okay, where is the phase? Yeah, here. Okay. Then automatically it comes on channel B. Okay. So channel B, you can do the setting once again, that you can set the frequency, let's say 500 hertz. Press this button. Amplitude you can set, let's say 6, and then you press again. So we have 6 volt peak to peak, which is 2.121 RMS voltage. And you can set the phase. Here we have the phase button is here, and let's say I want to set the phase equals to 60 degrees. Okay. Now instead of pressing this button, you will press this button because this is the degree. So now you have set the function generator for the given frequency, amplitude, and this is phase angle. So now the waveform is of 60-degree phase shift. Okay. So you can generate from channel A and channel B. Channel B will give you the phase shift. This is the output used for channel B. This is the output used for channel A. Some students just plug it like this. Okay. Okay. And they think that is complete. The oscilloscope, we call it reticule. It is divided into boxes or divisions. The big box or the large division consists of 5 small divisions horizontally and 5 vertical divisions. Okay. So from here to here, you can say that each division is the 20%. Small division is contributes 20%. So from here to here, if it is 1, so it will be 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, 0.2, and 0.2. So it will make the sum of 0.2 times 5 will become 1. So this is the middle line. Okay. This is your reference line. Whenever you will start the experiment, make sure that reference line of the scope is in middle. Okay. So here you have channel number 1. You see the arrangement is important to understand. This is channel number 1. See the outline. This outline is basically shows that this is the area reserved for the channel number 1. This area is reserved for channel number 2. So this is the front panel. Whereas this side, if you see this block is reserved for time. Okay. So channel 1, channel 2 is for the vertical, that means voltage control. and this is for the time-based control. This is used for the time base. Okay. CRT control, intensity and focus, is to see to increase the focus, okay, or reduce the blur from the waveform. Okay. By intensity increasing and decreasing, you can just increase the sharpness. It is better to have less sharpness because it is not comfortable for the eyes. Okay. To control the movement, you will use the trigger. By using the trigger point, you can hold the waveform at one position. Okay. Also, here, if the input is coming from source number 1, if the input is coming from channel number 1, then your source should be channel number 1. If you move it to channel number 2, the waveform will be continuously moving. Don't do that. If you are giving the signal for channel number 1, your source should be channel number 1. If you are using channel number 2, your source should be channel number 2. So at level of LH 102, this is more than enough for you to remember. Okay, so when we switch on, okay, now this is what we see. Okay, that's it. This is what we see. I am focusing on channel number 1. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to move it a little bit up so that it becomes in the middle. Okay. Don't press this button. This will be used for Lissajous figures or Lissajous figure. We are not using it at the moment. And you can see that this dot is moving. Okay. You see, if you increase the focus, you have to reduce it. See, intensity will change the brightness. So it is there. So now what we will do, that I am going to increase the time period. Okay. See what happens, that if I start increase this second, okay, the speed becomes quick. This is only one dot that is moving, but when you increase the time base, it becomes faster. Okay, so gradually you see that now the speed has increased that much that it is the same dot is moving, but now because of the eyes we cannot see. Our persistence of vision shows us this. Okay, now you see this is again a single line. Okay, we increase the focus. That is the same dot. That was the same dot that you saw. Okay, this is the same dot, but now this dot is moving so rapidly, so quickly that it looks like a line. Okay, that is the whole idea behind the working of oscilloscope, that you are moving at a high frequency. Now, just little bit focus here to move it. Okay, so that is how you set. First objective is to have this blue or cyan color line in the middle. Now, since I am taking, I will go to channel A. Since I am using channel number A, I am going to connect this point here, and I am going to use channel number 1 here. Okay. Lock it. Okay. Okay. The most important thing is to check that you are getting the right signal. So you can use a DMM to check that you are getting the right RMS value and output. Okay, here we have our connection between the two. Red positive is connected with the positive, negative is connected with the negative. Okay. So it's locked here, locked here. Now let's move it to AC. Okay. And you see that we are getting the signal. Okay. So what I will do, I will just use the focus. Okay, if I use the channel number 2 as a source, it will not stop, no matter what I do. Okay. So first thing that I will do is set the channel 1 for the source. Then I will use the control level button to slow it down. Okay. And I will increase the intensity a little bit, because with this intensity I cannot measure it well. Okay, little bit. Increase the focus. Okay, this one is fine. Okay. It's a little bit dirty. Okay. Now, sorry, I can stretch it, but it's better to have it on the left side, fixed left side. Okay. Now, let's see. So if I change the time base, the frequency will increase and you will have more waveforms. I want to have, the best way is to have one wave. Okay, one wave at a time. Let's say this is one wave, but I will go with 2 waves and increase the amplitude a little bit so that it is measurable. Okay. So just once again to be checked. Okay, confident. Okay. Little bit movement. So now I have right position. Okay. So first of all, I will try to measure the voltage. Okay. Now, if I may use this as my point. So this is my reference line, ground point. Okay, 0, 0. What do I see? I am using 1 full division, second full division, and then we have 2 small divisions in the third division. Okay, we are using 2 small divisions.
2.4.
2.4. Very good. So we have 2.4. Let's say
From fault.
okay, from voltage, from vertical. Now I will see what is my multiplier. I will look here on this line, it is coinciding with number 1.
1.
Okay, so that means 2.4 multiplied by 1. Okay, so 2.4 multiplied 1 is 2.4 volt, and this is peak voltage. This is peak voltage. This is positive peak. Similarly, we will have negative voltage. So this can also go in the same way. 2.4 multiplied by 1, so 2.4. So it becomes 4.8 volt peak to peak. Okay, we have peak to peak.
We put it 6 volt peak to peak.
No, we have put 5 volts peak to peak. Okay, so a rough sketch is showing me that I'm having around 2 point. It should be a little bit up, but
4.2.
yeah, 4.8 volts peak to peak. Okay, here I'm generating 5 volt peak to peak. Okay, that means 5 volt peak to peak means 2.45 volt peak, and I'm getting around. Ideally, if there is a well calibrated instrument we have, I should get the value. Now, what about the time period? Okay, so for the time period, I will see one complete cycle of the wave. Okay, so one complete cycle, little bit. So one complete cycle, less blurry.
I think 2.1 teacher.
Okay, see, let's see here. I take this point as my reference. I, instead of coming here, I start from here, and I see that this is 1 full division, then I come here. So here 1 full division, 2 full division, 3 full division, 4 full divisions, and then it is between 4.8. Let's say 4.8.
كيف بتسوي
4.8.
بالعرض بس بين
Okay.
الوجهين
You start from here. See, okay. See here. You start from this point. This is your reference point. 1 full division, 2nd full division, 3rd full division, 4th full division. Okay. Then the 5th full division is not. It is 0.8. So you have 4.8. Now 4.8 multiply by what? Look here. Where are you? It's here. 0.2.
0.2.
Okay, it is on 0.2. Okay, 4.2, 0.2. But it is not complete. Look here. If you are here, this is 0.2 and this is a multiplier. You have to write this multiplier as well, okay?
Millisecond.
Millisecond, very good. Look at the multiplier. Because it is this time-based division, time base is divided into 3 sections. From here to here, the unit is second. From here to here, from this border to this border, the multiplier is millisecond. From this border to this border, it is microsecond. So if it crosses this line, then the unit will be multiplied with microsecond. The number will be multiplied with the microsecond.
عندي فيها 4 علي واحد أمشي يعني.
Okay. So look at the dial position. Look at the dial position, the number as well as the unit, right together. So if the dial is in this position, write the number here and microsecond. If the dial position is here in the second group, write the number as well as the multiplier. So millisecond. So now we have 4.8 multiplied by 0.2. 2 times 8 is 16, and then 2 times 4 is 8, 9. So it becomes 0.96 millisecond. Okay? Because we have to put the dots as well. Okay? Okay? You can check from your calculator. Where is the calculator? Calculator, please. So you will see 4.8 multiplied by 0.2 millisecond. This is 9.6 micro. This is equal to 960 microseconds. Okay, or 9.6 10 raised to power minus 4, or shift in this way. So it is 0.96 millisecond that I wrote. Okay, 0.96 millisecond that I found. Now this is the time period of this waveform.
Okay.
Okay, so time period is 0.96 milliseconds. What is the frequency?
1/t.
Okay, just press this button.
Inverse.
Inverse. Okay, we are here. Then press this button, inverse. So I will get the frequency, which is 1041 hertz. Okay. Why I am getting 1041 hertz? Let me see. I have set for 500. No. 500 hertz. Let me see. Where is the problem? Did I mistake something? No. Let me see it. No, time is okay. No, it's okay. It's okay. This is locked. Let's see here, okay? Let's see here, okay? So we have 30 kilo ohms inverse plus 5 kilo ohms inverse plus 10 kilo ohms inverse. Okay? We got that? And then the last inverse. Result is 3000 ohms. You can see it in the scientific way, 3 kilo ohms. So this is the result of your calculation. Now, you can verify the way you do it. 1 divided by, let's say the way you do 30. I don't know how do you do that. Okay, stop.